Welcome to the Pizzing with Les the Chef. I am Les the Chef. Even though I tell people not to call me that, my name is Lesejo. There's a long story behind how I came up with the brand and the name, but yeah, I will save that for another day. Someone on Twitter a few days ago said to me they actually like me digressing at the beginning of my videos. I talk a lot when it comes to food. I'm sure you've realized that. And I've decided that my channel is going to be me and my food. I do TV, I do presentations, I do public speaking, and you're expected to be a certain way and dress a certain way. The whole necktie, chef jacket thing, tall hat, I do that too. But that's not how I cook at home. And the whole point of my channel is to get you cooking at home. And that is why we're doing 101s with Bosch during this lockdown. Um, and it's also why I'm doing things that people struggle with, things that people ask me a lot about on social media. Today is one of them. We're doing ox liver. It's beef liver. There's a long story as to why it's called ox liver and oxtail and whatever, ox. But it's actually just beef liver. Yeah, I won't get into all the technicalities and bore you. But thank you for watching. The subscribers to my channel in the past week have doubled. Like, you guys like Magwinya, hey? That Magwinya video is by far the most watched video ever on my channel. That is like at 11K viewers in 7 days. Yeah, for Magwinya. And I got contacted by magazines, I've been contacted by newspapers, radio, like people like Magwinya. God damn. So one side of it is telling me that, okay, people actually like the simple stuff because we chefs get technical. We get really technical. I was actually mentioning it on Twitter the other day that I am doing simple stuff because there is going to be a stage on this channel where I move to higher grade. And now's not the time for that. People are in lockdown. People tend to watch the chef videos that we do where we use all the skills and the fancy stuff, and but then they don't replicate it. And the whole goal of what I do, the whole goal of the book that I wrote, everything that I do on social media is to get you cooking. I'm a firm believer that people cooking again means that they'll understand food better, and by understanding food better, it means they'll demand better when they go out. And in so doing, it improves the restaurant and food industry. You won't be taken for a Mickey. You will know that if you go to one of these famous restaurants, I'm not going to tell you which, that the ribs that you're getting are boiled and they've just been coated in basting sauce. And having known how they're made and how things are done, when you go out, now you'll demand, like, no, this thing is not made the way it should be made. And that is why I'm doing 101s. And also, the 101s are a stepping stone. As we go, as the channel grows, we'll progress and get to even better, well, not better, but fancier stuff, more technical stuff, how to make croissants, how to, yo, like it gets technical what we do for a living. And I'm glad that people are starting to appreciate it because you guys are in lockdown. And all I get every day is complaints about, hey, I'm tired of cooking. Thank you. I'm glad you're tired. It means now you'll appreciate what we do for a living. And when you go out now, you'll say, yeah, no, thank you, chef. Now I understand what you do for a living. Now you know why we're always so tired and why chefs are so grumpy. Anyway, as I digress some more, ox liver. I marinate my ox liver for about an hour. The best thing to do is to do it overnight. But I marinate mine for about an hour in buttermilk. Because we're shooting an entire video, I will be only doing it for about 30 minutes. There are different steps, though, to making it the way I do. Please don't go into my comments underneath and say, hey, my father doesn't do it this way, my mom doesn't. This is how I do it. And I've heard people telling their partners and their families that Les the chef says, Les the chef. Hi, man, guys. I'm just here to give you tips on how I cook. Hence the channel, saying a chef and his food. And I'm just showing you how I do stuff. Okay. So don't go and use my name. I don't want to be walking in the street after the lockdown and suddenly get smacked out of the blue because, hey, my partner says you are the one who is making her cook this way. She's the So this is how I make ox liver. 30 minutes in buttermilk. All the ingredients. It's not like the other recipes where I'm going to tell you quantities. It's because the amount of liver you have may be different. Your liver might not have been cleaned. It might not be in strips. It may be whole. So there are many variables. So I just want you to please observe how I do it, the ingredients I use, the process. This is literally about the process. And yeah, so that is basically me asking, do not write, can I have the recipe in the comments underneath? Because there isn't one. The video is the recipe. Okay. Yeah, and I'll be posting a lot more during this week. I managed to step out. As I mentioned in the previous video, I am a type 1 diabetic. That is the one that you get from your family and your genes. So thanks, Dad. And it carries on in my system, and we are the ones who get killed by this virus. So I've only left my house, I think 4 or 5 times in the past month and a half, and I won't be leaving anytime soon. So yeah, you guys who want content, you will get content as long as the bank allows and as long as the pocket allows. I will not be recording everything though. Someone was like, I want to see even your sandwich that you make. We want to see how you make tea. No, I will not be doing that. Here and there, but for the next 5 or 6 days, I'll be posting something every day. It will be different every day. I can't post baking stuff. There's the other thing people have asked a lot of, baking. I can't do baking because the kitchen I'm using is my home one, and the oven I'm using has gone and decided to fight me during the lockdown. And I don't want to be showing you a cake recipe and then I burn the cake on camera. So we'll have to wait until we're back in the Bosch kitchen. Beautiful kitchen. I love being there. Once the lockdown is over, please check out the Bosch websites, even my websites and social media. We do classes once a month, and we also do different events for Bosch. I'm all over the country with them, so check them out. Should be somewhere here. This is the social media. We do giveaways now and then. I gave away a whole kitchen machine last week. So follow Bosch. It is quality stuff. I don't endorse stuff that I don't believe in. And yeah, let's make liver because today is going to be a good day. Okay, these are our ingredients for making liver. This is the way I make it. In here we've got buttermilk. This is normal cake flour. Over here is our liver. That is about 2.5 kgs of liver. We've got 2 onions over here. This oil is an avocado oil, but you can use canola oil or sunflower oil. You don't have to use avocado. I just like the taste of avocado oil. And over here is about 100 grams of butter. This is fresh rosemary and fresh thyme. You can use dried as well, but I prefer my herbs to be fresh if I'm going to be cooking with them. Over here we've got coriander seeds. This is sea salt. This is cayenne pepper. You can leave cayenne pepper out. I just like to have a bit of kick to my liver. You can add chilies as well, chopped chili if you like, instead of using cayenne pepper. This over here is freshly chopped minced garlic. Okay, you can use the bottle stuff, although I try to tell people rather to use freshly chopped. This is garlic and herb spice blend. Yes, sometimes I do use spice blends. This is my favorite spice blend. Yeah, I've tried to replicate, I've tried to make it myself, but I can't. Inner Palm Spice Blend, free shout out to them. And this is steak and chop spice. You can use barbecue spice as well. Any of the red meat spice blends. Okay. And this here is my pestle and mortar. I'm going to be using it to make my spice blend for later on cooking. But the very first thing you're going to do is take your buttermilk and pour it over your liver and just let that sit the way it is. No need to mix it up. The buttermilk will get to all of the meat. Leave it for about 30 minutes. Cover it though. Leave it at room temperature. Don't put it back in the fridge. and grab your cling wrap and wrap it. Okay, so 30 minutes time, we're gonna get cooking with that. Leave it at room temperature. But whilst you're waiting for that, what we can do in the meantime is make our spice blend. So this is a pestle and mortar, one of the most important things in a kitchen. If you don't have one, please buy yourself one, and make sure it's a stone one. This one is stone. I've got a granite one, I've got a wooden one. There are different types. Well, it's basically because I like buying a lot of gadgets, that's why I have different types. But if you do want to buy one that is stone. Okay, and then into our pestle and mortar, pull the leaves off your rosemary. I'm only going to use half of the second one because this one I'm going to use for garnish, so we have a pretty photo at the end. Into there, and then your thyme into there as well. Give that a bash. Now our salt. I'm not giving measurements because it will be different for every time you cook the liver. It depends on the size of your liver. That is why I'm not giving measurements as I'm doing this. Sorry about that. I know a lot of you will be in my mentions asking for the measurements for it all, but yeah, askies. And the cayenne pepper, I like mine very hot. Like I said, you can use fresh chili. This is the steak and chop spice. Liver needs a lot of salt and flavoring. So don't be shy at the beginning, but don't put too much. Remember, you can always alter the seasoning later on as well. And our garlic and herb blend. And then you just bash that up. Okay, and then this all goes into our flour. And mix it all up. This is going to be what we drag our liver through. You can also use this flour for chicken later on. You can use it for any other meat that you want to drag through flour first. Okay, and that is our spice blend into our flour. Just gonna let that sit a little bit. Chop them fine. Oh, get a dry pan hot first. Don't add your oil until your pan is hot. I'm testing the heat by putting my hand just above it. I like it. Okay. First thing we're gonna add is our butter. And whilst the butter is melting, we're gonna add our avocado oil. Stir that up. And once your butter is melted, we're going to add all our onions. Once you start seeing your onions browning a bit, this is when you add the garlic. Put the garlic in. So now that our onions are nice and soft and slightly brown, scoop them out into a bowl. Okay. My liver's been sitting at room temperature for about it's about 45 minutes now. The longer the better. I'm just in a rush. I don't know why I'm in a rush, but I'm just in a rush. It will still turn out good though. So get rid of your plastic cling wrap. And this is our flour, which we seasoned earlier. You're going to need to put it in a big enough dish that will be able to drag your liver through. So spread it. And then grab a piece of liver out of the buttermilk. Shake as much of that off as you can. And what you're going to do is drag your liver through. Shake as much of that mixture off as you can and into a clean tray. So into the same pot, into the same pan that we sauteed our onions in, I've added more oil. This is avocado oil, hence this being this color. But yeah, let it heat up. You want it to be very, very hot before you add your liver. Okay, do not cook meat on a cold pan. That is why you get gray looking steaks, gray looking liver. The goal of you cooking on the stove with proteins besides stew is to seal them. It's called the Maillard reaction. Please Google that. We'd be here the whole day for us to explain the Maillard reaction and the science behind food. Okay, we're just waiting for it to sizzle up. Don't worry about some of the coating coming off of the liver. This will actually add to the final dish. So don't stress about that, it will happen.